And here we are. Round number 2. In the left side of the map, in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is TheMista. On the other side of the map, in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Super Saiyajin. I apologize. I'm a filthy English speaker. I see I say but apparently I've been told by my German friends that it is Super Saiyajin. Alrighty, we've got ourselves a Goliath. What is this? I forgot a David versus Goliath matchup here. TheMista, he is currently on a roll in retold tournaments thus far, taking home first place in both Red Bull Wololo and the Genesis tournament by EGC TV. We're now moving into the third S tier, Wrath of the Gods here, and he is going to be showing up and showing us how he makes everything work in this one. Going to be jumping that temple nice and fast, grabbing up all the goats on this map. They're going to look at the mini map. He goes so far to the right. He's trying to claim the entirety of this bottom side of the map before moving up to the top side. Moving over here onto the red position, he's just grabbing his map kind of in a stock standard fashion to grab those goats. Temple coming through here. Mana going to be finishing up as well, as it looks to me like we're going to see a fairly stock standard but slightly delayed advance time from Super Saiyajin. Not going for a 3-minute 30 advance time, closer to that 3-minute or 4-minute advance time, as Themis decides it is time now for Hermes. He was going for a 3:15, gets slightly delayed, but he's going to be going for a 3:30 instead. I'm totally lying. Got a lot of villagers on that gold. Wants to get himself out that Atalanta. Wants to get himself out that Theseus and start going into pressure. He knows how important scouting, how important it is to find oracles. He's going to be seeing one over on this side. He can actually start harassing that one if he so chooses, as he does find himself a couple of goats over here. Has to take them back. You can actually do a little cheekiness with the scout and push these all the way back over here, as Mr. did notice that oracle on that left side, so I'm sure he's got an idea that it's around there somewhere, and Super Saiyajin will need to be pulling that one back. And now we see the option is going to be Oceanus. So no Prometheus, no Promethean spam, no soup special. It's just going to be a very, very strong usage of this nonetheless, as more goats getting grabbed onto this side. We've got that Theseus looking over here at relics on the map. System of Bast, very, very strong. Down on the bottom here, we've got that Hecate's torch there as well, as the Centaur is searching for the very corner, as he knows that it's in here. You can't get away from me, Mr. says, as that's going to be Oracle down. Number 1. That's got to feel good whenever you're playing against Atlantean. Spotting one of these early oracles and sniping them is such an important thing. Going to be dropping that stable down and start searching across the map. Still scouting out with the Katoskopos here. He missed that oracle in the bottom corner of the map there, but does get himself the relics. So a villager kind of on a bit of a wander to the right-hand side of the map, looking for something to do there as the Atlanta. Now starting to move forward. We've got a couple of oracles just getting pulled back into the main base, as Super Saiyajin now starting up double military barracks, and he's going to be going into those Murmillo to kick this game off. Wait, it's pronounced Dar? Dare? Za Super Saiyajin. I don't even know what I'm saying. Oracle gets spotted over here as well, as Mr. is like, I'm just going to kill these. These are the ones to take out. Not going to quite be able to do so. We see a Sky Passage is now out. The raids are starting to... The pressure is starting to build here. And this is what Mr. is all about. As he's now going to move up here and drop a town center, it looks like. It's absolutely wild. He's able to get... Does he even get a single Hippias out? One Hippias out and then town center. That's such a wild opening. As he's now still looking for those oracles to take out. Just pushing villagers around here is all he wants. He knows he's probably not going to get a villager kill, but that doesn't matter. All he needs is idle time and just slowing the Oranos down. As Mamillo going to be moving over onto this position here. Hippias getting slowed down. Snare. This is the hard part when dealing with Oranos. When doing this early game pressure. It's that snare from the Caladria and all of the pressure that can happen on that one. There's more villagers. Just not sure where they're going, but he's going to be grabbing himself that husbandry nice and early. So many goats in the main base. It's absolutely huge at this point. We do have a Sky Passage coming up on the left side of the map here. Unit's going to be charging forward yet again. We've got some of that pacify shenanigans coming through, and Mr. just not able to do all too much over there. But with this Sky Passage on this spot now for Dar Super Saiyajin. Dar Super Saiyajin? I don't even know, man. I give up. I'm just going to call him Super Saiyajin. He's going to be grabbing those rhinoceros on this side, and Mr. already sees this, surely. No, not quite. A couple of Mamillo charging out onto this position. He's actually missed this one, but it looks like he's going to be spotting it as he retreats back, just barely inching that line of sight onto the Sky Passage there, as he's moving around onto this position, still searching for any sort of raids he possibly can. As the Pacify coming in yet again, the units basically have to run away as they get a whole bunch of stuff. Call him DSS. Okay, DSS. Town center is up. Storehouse is coming through over here, and already to the next age. Mr. gets so much pressure with just 3 units. He's not really killed anything, but he's able to go 2 town centers against a 1 town center Oranos. That's the crazy part. He now has to kind of run straight through the main bases. He's going to be losing all these units here. It looks like the Pacifier comes through. The Milo charging in. Double military barracks coming up onto this position. Atalanta will be able to retreat away from here. But he does get caught out, as now the pressure will be slowed down to some degree. Atalanta still kind of just roaming around here. There are 4 oracles out for the time being here for Oranos play. He's spent all of that favor. You know, he's only got 2 Caladria at the moment. Now he's going to be grabbing himself that frontline heroics technology. One of the big strengths here of Oranos is going to be a huge amount of Hero Mamillo to play around Aphrodite. Play around that curse. You can't curse heroes. Winged Messenger going to be coming through here to get a little bit of a cheeky Pegasus out, as the Atalanta still trying to get that scouting information. Literally just running around the map. It's funnily enough, Super Saiyan is just kind of following this one here. As the Mystery still got, like, his base is completely safe. There's not really a whole lot of spots for Super Saiyan to really attack here in this one. He's still chasing. You can't kill the animal. You can't catch me. 5.6 speed in a dream here. As the Caladria does finally spot the town center. And our Oranos player, Super Saiyan, must realize now in this position the difficulty that he is now going to be facing. Because Hypaspist, they're going to be coming out. Mister's got himself already 3 military academies here. House is coming down. He's always thinking about countering what his opponent is doing. There is never a moment when I've seen the Mister playing where he's decided to go for a strategy. It's always early pressure, scout, react, counter. Very, I don't think I've ever seen him go for like a blind strategy that doesn't just completely counter what his opponent's doing. As the Hypaspis coming through, you do have to be careful with this. Yes, these are hard counter units to the Mamilo, but they've got themselves Bite of the Shark. They are a scary unit. There is Curse here. This is probably a fight with Curse he can take, especially with that Lion Roar here as well. As the units here, we've got that Carnivora coming in as well as the Nemean Lion getting charged through. The Micro coming through from the Mista to try and defend on this one. Looks like he's not going to really be able to retreat away from this, but it doesn't matter as he's able to take down even more units there as the Carnivora going to be cleaning up those Pacifist. Meanwhile, still getting pressure onto this side, but through the Sky Passage they go. As Atlanta going to be getting brought home. And following this, look at all of the resources in the bank here for Super Saiyan. So much wood, so much gold. He absolutely needs Heroic Age. A Heroic Age here with Mats Kontaris would be absolutely gigantic, but it's just not available for him at the moment. As a town center going to be coming through. Villagers sneaking into the middle side, into the middle of the map here to grab this gold mine, as I'm sure that Mr. is going to be wanting to throw up a fortress here and just secure this as the Sky Pass is getting cleaned up. 50 wood, 8 favor down the drain. And the entirety of the top map is, the presence at the top of the map is entirely lost here. And we see that fortress coming through. And the next step here for the Mr. is generally fairly simple. He's got so many goats in his main base. The next step is Mythic Age, 9 times out of 10. Pegasus scouting out, sees the town center. Sky Passage getting deleted on this spot, trying to put a Sky Passage down on this gold mine down the bottom. I mean, a simple solution is to go for a gold starve at this moment. As the villagers all starting to move up onto this spot. A couple of storehouses coming through as well. Oh. And we got a freeze. Alrighty. Can't do anything about that. I'm going to go ahead and just assume the Mr. won this one. I've actually got no idea, but it looks like he probably hit Mythic Age and he kind of won. All right, GG. We'll go to the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully the next one is better. Game number 2. It's currently 1-0 for the Mr. in this best of 5 series for the Wrath of the Gods Retold Qualifier 3 last chance. In the top of the map, we've got his challenger. Der Super Saiyan. Da Super Saiyan. I still don't know. I'm going to give up. He's SSJ to me. And he's going to be playing as Thor. The map spawn here, as nice as it can possibly be. Back gold mine, side hunt here, forest to protect the gold mine. This is absolutely perfect. Dwarven armory, temple, wall. No, a cliff over here as well. This is as good as it's going to get for our main man in the Thor color. Mr. on the other side of the map here, however, he's got his Ra. And this is his first pick. This is his priority pick. The Isis was banned away. He's going to be moving over onto the monument to the villages here. Getting all of those villages onto the food and onto the gold. If you guys ever want to try and learn these build orders, all the recorded games will be available on the MetaPlays Discord. Alternatively, you can take a look at the top of the screen here and you see you can kind of sort of guess what's happening by taking a look at the numbers that's happening. Like when a building goes down, you're probably going to see a villager getting dropped off a resource and you can kind of take a guess. Nonetheless, we're seeing the house come down on this spot and moving forward. House is coming down over here as well. Relics on the map. We've got that nose of the Sphinx here. Plus 15% hit points on this position over here. We've got Tail of Cerberus. Boosting that those myth unit special attacks down. over on this right-hand side of the map. We've got the Kopesh of Horus. That's a huge relic here to get picked up for the Thor player, but he's not going to be able to scout it because he's gone for the armory first. He's going to have to take his time there. Got that Tar Scepter here, making those farms even cheap. There's so many good relics on this map. Grabbing all of those goats as well. As Mr. He's already got himself up 1 obelisk here. Another obelisk on the front, going to be coming through as he's going to try and see exactly what's happening here. Temple on this spot does mean that he's leaving this open, but he can always come over here and drop a wall. You really have to be careful. The Wadgets have got such a gigantic range that you need to ensure that the wall is, or the buildings here are protecting that gold mine in a really big way. But the obelisk is up. And we already see Tar coming through. Is this a 4 minute? This is just a 4-minute advance time here. A couple of villages on wood, just 3 on wood, 6 on gold, and 6 on food. So as I would say, as standard is right now for Ra, spam out Wadgets, Axemen to kick the game off, and then you can slowly start mixing in Spearmen and Slingers as your opponent decides to build whatever units they want to build. There's another obelisk coming up onto the front position here. Just see how much Mr. sees on this. He's only got 3 obelisks. It's just so much line of sight. And we are seeing the Super Saiyan just saying, who needs a fast advance time? Who needs one? 4 SETI coming through. It's a 5-minute 4 SETI. 5-minute. Immediate barracks getting dropped down. More houses coming through. Wadget's going to start coming through as well. I can't believe you go... like, the mental pressure playing against the Mr. is what gets most people. Players like Magic, you know, they've played Mr. a billion times over the years. He's not getting that mental pressure. He's going to go for his game plan. But when I see someone kind of new to the tournament circuit here, just go, I don't care that you're the Mr. I'm going to go for a 5-minute advance time. Try and stop me. House is up on this spot. The base is just so insanely defensive here. The problem, which we haven't really discussed just yet, is that the food situation in the main base here for our Thor player is awful. Once these giraffe are finished, and you can't really realistically go over onto those giraffe, he's not going to be able to eat these. He's not going to be able to eat these without having to take a fight. Longhouse coming down. Oh. And the micro from the Misty is not going to be letting that Herser get back there. Does he have the pickup priest? No, he doesn't. He can't grab it. The Super Saiyan can definitely come over and grab that relic a little bit later. As Mr. like, look at what he can see. He sees this. He doesn't see the chickens. That's the one thing he hasn't seen just yet, but he's going to be able to move over there very, very quickly as you can kind of check in the dark with a little bit of cheekiness. Got the Wadgets coming through. Got a couple of Axemen coming in as well. More throwing Axemen coming through. Let's look at Misty. He's already... look at this army. He's already got himself 4 Wadgets and 1 billion Axemen. Walls coming through here as well as our Thor player is desperately trying to hold here. The Wadgets can literally sit up on this cliff and you see Mr. He's pushing onto the back position. The Dwarf's getting pulled back. He's got no goats. There's 0 goats here. Now, our Thor player can jockey from one side of the map to the other side of the map as some walls coming over here. The Axemen are going to be swinging up onto this left side of the map to try and deal with this. That's too... looks like too late for Super Saiyan as the Herser gets sniped down. And Mr.'s army is... look at the difference in population. There's a lot of resources in the bank here, though, for our Thor player. A lot. As the Axeman getting pushed back, Mr. has to wait for his slow, immobile army to get over there. As the walls will come through, and this will stop the Mr. in his track. No, it won't. It's not stopping the Mr. in his tracks. He's through. He's going to get some more pressure on, trying to take these units out. He gets a little bit of kills onto this one. But the troll is going to go down. The Thrown Axeman, will it survive with the help of the Healing Spring? Yes, it does. So Mr. is going to be cleaning this position up yet again. Breaks down these walls. Going to be pulling back out of this spot. Will we see a town center, or is it just full send? As the village is back onto the berries in the middle of the map here. Mithril or Dwarven Breastplate going to be coming through. As the Magits just push through and just say, please get off of this position. And sooner or later, Mr. can actually split up into 2 groups of 3 Wadgets. Hit this spot and hit this spot. Now, one thing to remember here is that our Thor player does have this relic. 25% cheaper farms, 75 wood, take 25% off. It's a little bit cheaper to build those farms, so it could be a way to go here to just drop down a couple of those. As the Wadgets sneaking in onto this position, the tower does manage to see this, and the play here from Super Saiyajin is impeccable thus far. The army always kind of in position. As he's trying to now start getting some more units out. Got the medium axeman in. As the army here still trying to take out these units. Good micro here from Super Saiyajin to pull back, but he's going to be losing some on the retreat here. As he gets pushed off of this, is he going to now move up onto the giraffes? No, back over to the chickens. So Mr. I mean, the thing is, the Mr. his economy hasn't been touched. He's over here on this hunt. He's over here on this hunt. He's on this gold mine. He has everything he wants in the world and more, and a 3rd monument. And a 3rd monument here. So that's all we've got going. As the Wadgets pushing forward onto this position here. Yet again, the dwarves getting pushed back. Electron bullets going to be coming in. Market coming down here for our Thor player. The gold mine is expired. He's used his dwarven gold mine. He's got to push out onto another gold mine very, very shortly here. The heroic age is going to be coming through very, very shortly. As the army now starts to push out, population differential is kind of close. As the army going to be pulling back into the main base, the troll getting sniped down onto that position. That one gets taken out. You can't make a move in this position. Look at the line of sight that the Mr. has. You can't make a move without being spotted here. And he's grabbing the obelisk as the village is getting pushed off of this position yet again. Like I don't even need to have it on omniscience. I can just watch from Mr.'s perspective and I see the entirety of the map. As the army now going to attempt to make somewhat of a movement over here, and the Mr. says, what are you doing? Come back. He's already got the favor for another shifting sands just in case flaming weapons seems like too difficult of a fight. Longhouse coming down onto this position. Great Hall coming down onto this position as well. As the army slowly making their way over, going to be pushing those Thrown Axemen back. Oh, he's just losing all his units before the fight even starts. The Hearser off onto the right side of the map. I mean, the Mist doesn't really care. All he needs to do is leave the Axeman on top of his Wadgets. As the army now going to be looking to engage in. Sobek is on the way as well. As the Thrown Axeman on the back getting pushed back. Hearser pulling away here. As Dwarves getting sniped down. Raiding Cavalry coming through to snipe down the Slingers on this position here as well. There's no Hearser on this side. Snipes off the troll there on that spot. And the Axeman coming back to just circle in here. There's no angle in onto these Wadgets. As the Axeman pull back. Beautiful micro. The Hearser don't even get like 1 shot off. 2 shots off onto the Wadgets. And the army of Super Saiyajin with the Locust to boot gets absolutely erased, and he doesn't want to play it out anymore. A valiant effort here from our Thor player. There's not really much to talk about. An absolute masterclass in this strategy from the Mista. We'll move into game number 3 here very, very shortly. Hope you guys are having a fantastic time hanging out with me. And we'll see you in the next one. And we're back. And we're back with game number 3. And we're back with the Mista playing as one of his favorite Norse gods, Thor. Our Super Saiyajin buddy down the bottom battling it out here. He had a really, really good showing in the series before, but when pitted against the talents of the Mista, he is struggling to get done what he wants to get done. The map is Mount Olympus. Let's take a quick look at the relics around on this map. We've got ourselves Tower of Cestus here. A nice little help in the early game there against myth units. Could be very useful for the Mista in all honesty. Dwarven Calipers over here. Going to be boosting those siege weapons just a little bit, making them cheaper. Got that Gampatine Odin's wand to reduce the technologies of temples. Very, very nice relic there. Blanket of Empress Zoe to just help defend against all of those sort of siegey units, myth units as well. Anything dealing crush. Oseberg wagon there. Ooh, this is a beautiful market position. I was having a chat with people about this map, and they were saying it's impossible to get a good market on this map. And I'm like, look at this. A market here? All the way over to here? This map has got some serious late game potential. Riyadh's crown over here to make the town centers really, really cheap. And I guess the question is going to be, does Super Saiyajin feel like he can dip into the Mista's playbook? The Mista knows this strategy so well, and he's got to know how easy it is. Not easy. He's got to know how to defend against this strategy because he's made it. This is his strategy. Wadgets, Axemen, early pressure, mass strangle with vision. You can't move. He knows how to deal with it. So are you game enough to go down that route, or do you go into a different strategy which maybe the Mista hasn't practiced so much against? We'll have to wait and see. Upgrades for the Mista. Let's take a quick look. He's already got himself that pickaxe. Looks like he's not quite going for the hand axe just yet. Berserk going after that baboon of Set. Realizes he's got to pull back to drop his temple because he wants to advance nice and quick. A late advance here is not ideal against the Set, to say the very least. You can get a lot of trouble here. Get in a lot of trouble here as the baboon comes through and starts harassing that temple. And it looks like to me that... Oh! Baboon of Set. Oh! I've never seen that. I have literally never seen a villager miss like that. I didn't know it was possible. It's got 100% accuracy, 99 track rating, and that baboon at 3.3 speed juked it. At 3.3 speed! Walls coming up already for the Mista. This makes perfect sense. We do have Tar coming through. We've got Ula coming through. It's a little bit of a late advance time here for Super Saiyajin. He's got only the one monument up. 5 villagers on gold, 4 on wood, and you know what's coming. It's going to be Wadgets, it's going to be Axemen, it's going to be pain for the Mista. But the Mista already with walls makes so much sense here. The kind of weakness, so to speak, of these Wadgets is, and the Axemen is they don't have that much damage. Killing off a wall, 600 HP, it takes a while. He could even invest in stone walls really, really early because he is Freyr, and it's cheaper. What's the cost on it? Like 200 resources? 200 resources. So you can invest in that so that the units can't push through. And the Mista here looks like we have a baboon going to be sneaking through here. And the Mr. spots it. The Mr. kills it. And he's going to finish his wall up on this spot. There he goes. And now the Classical Age is in. Hurst are going to be retreating back. Longhouse coming down. And obviously he's going to want to finish this up. He also knows that his golden wood on this side is very, very open. But if he sort of just sits here, it's going to be kind of fine with this being the only opening. Finishing up the wall on this side means he's only got this one to do. And then these units here for Dirt Super Saiyajin are going to be very, very struggle town to get into the base of the Mista. As we've got ourselves 4 barracks up. Asgardian Bastion coming down insanely early here for the Mista. He doesn't even... He sees how late, I guess. And with the walls, he sees how late this is. It's going to be a difficult one for Dirt Super Saiyajin to stop. As he drops the vision down and he can't see it. He's got no idea where it is. He's looking for that shifting sands, but it's just not there. He can come in onto these villages perhaps, but the towers are already up. Where's he going to go? The Pharaoh coming forward. Oh. He's too slow. Spearman coming through here. Going to look to attempt to get into the base. That Asgardian Hillfort is 35 seconds away. And there's only really one spot for it to be, and that's going to be on this. It's queued up. He sees it. He's going. He's queued up. He's got that shifting sands available. The 27 seconds is a long time when you got a lot of units coming in onto this position here. Mr. may have to abandon ship, as the shifting sands will definitely be coming through. And it is. We got 10 seconds remaining. We got the Gulin Bursty coming through in an effort to defend this position here. As look at that damage from the Gulin Bursty. The Asgardian Hillfort going to be getting taken down pretty quickly here. At the moment, Mister's got no units out. Looks like he does manage to finish up that Hillfort as the Gulin Bursty is just going to town. A Herser onto the back here. Catches Super Saiyajin sleeping. And the Mista is able to survive here against the big shifting sands idea from Dirt Super Saiyajin. He gets away with it. He absolutely gets away with it. The units will be able to retreat away. And I don't know if it's too bold to say. I don't know if it's too bold to say, but is this just an insurmountable advantage for the Mista? Or is the fact that no Wadgets fell, does that mean that the set of Da Super Saiyajin, does that mean it can continue to put pressure on? As a villager is going to be able to move forward and actually eat some of that very generously donated... Oh no, he's going for the berries. Okay. No, he's coming over here. Okay. There's a couple more units going to be coming through here. Ox cart gets dropped down. And now we see a town center. No heroic age. No god powers remaining. But with the Asgardian Hillfort and these walls, the Mr. is going to feel very, very comfortable about sitting on this position. A couple more Wadgets, more units coming through, but I mean, Mr. hasn't even... I feel like he hasn't even built anything. He's got himself all of his upgrades. He's got himself... I feel like he hasn't built anything. Did you guys feel that as well? We got a couple of goats getting sent wandering. House getting dropped down on this town center so we can actually see what's going on. Berserk over here dropping walls. The only thing missing right now, which I'd love to see, is stone walls. Is the town center going to get finished up over here? And the next challenge, I guess, for our set player is Shifting Sands is off the cards, which means Tempest or Flaming Weapons even is going to be a very, very difficult thing to deal with. You see the walls getting broken down. There are these revenant Draugr here. The villagers can very simply get pulled back over onto the goats in the main base if necessary. As Mr. is going to be using his base to defend here beautifully. Throwing Axeman going after these units here. So everyone's going to be simply pulling back. The wall over on this side is very, very smart, but I'm not sure if our set player is going to want to run through there. And now we do see Aegir on the way. As Mr. is defending this like a pro. He's still got no units out. A longhouse to get built on this spot. He can make Huskal. He can make Throw an Axeman. His economy is stonking here. He's got all of his upgrades queued up. Stone walls now coming in. The army going to be charging forward to try and take out a watchtower. The Draugr in the back will be getting some serious damage done. In a way, the Draugr are just as strong as those Wadgets. It's just that it's so much harder to build them. But Mr. is grabbing them beautifully, and he's going to be zoning. They've got 19 range here. As he pushes forward, ever so slightly snipes down the priest on that spot. And pulling back, Aegir is through. And where to next for the Mr.? Can he just go Mythic Age here? Without building any units? Maybe. The walls are all up. Stone walls does take a long time to come through at 100 seconds. There's the food going to be getting eaten up on this position. Units sneaking through over here to break through this wall. Another wall to come up on this spot just to ensure that everything is going to be nice and safe. Mr. might get a little bit caught out here for the first time in this game with, well, 3 villagers. He could lose a villager here. Potentially. A huge win coming for Super Saiyan. Is he still 1 Townsend? He's still 1 Townsend as the army is just waiting out on this position. Nearly full population to come through. Stone walls is in. Army comes through. Mr. not reacting here just yet. As the max value is extracted. 3 villagers down. TheMista in the main base. Great Hall coming down. Double Great Hall to start making Goaty, Hersa, raiding cavalry. Taking a look at the entirety of this army. It's got 21 spearmen, 15 axemen. So it's a very, very mixed army. And when you're facing a mixed army, sometimes the best option is to go for a very non-mixed army. Throwing axemen, raiding cavalry, or potentially berserk raiding cavalry. These sort of options. If you just try and micro or counter everything, you end up countering nothing to some degree. But Sekhmet now coming through as well for our set player. As a transition into Chariot Archers here will still open up some opportunities for him to catch the Mr. out. It's just Draugr. It's literally just Draugr throwing axemen at the moment with a rock giant. And the hardest part here is just getting favor. He's only got 4 Hersa, so he has to fight to get favor. But also, he doesn't have to do anything. He can just sit here and wait as the army of the Super Saiyan coming through, going to be taking this fight. He is just a tiny bit of favor away from shifting sands, and the Mr. kind of knows that. He sees how little Wadgets are in this army, so he's not going to be dropping that Tempest down. And now Mr. is feeling confident as he can just push the army back, and a Great Hall gets dropped down. A little bit of favor is now out for another hill fort on this spot if need be, and the walls, they just continue to come down on this map as the Mr. is just slowly but surely improving his position. Another Great Hall to come through as the raiding cavalry with heavy now applied, going to be very strong. He's also got all of those upgrades queued up for when he hits the Mythic Age, which is obviously his plan here is simple. If he gets Mythic Age and gets himself Inferno, it's going to be all over for our set player here with fireworks, with a boom. There's a raiding cavalry now going to be able to look for some raids, their namesake. So that Feast for a Hound is so strong. Going to get a huge amount of food boost here. And, oh man, Mr. does this so well. Gets the town center, but while grabbing the town center goes for a raid. Army gets out of position, town center is complete. Take this note. This is just fundamental RTS play here, but take this note. How to grab a town center 101 with the Mr. Distract, get town center. Build hill fort, make sure you distract, build hill fort. Those sort of ideas. So strong. I'm surprised to see the Norsemen not defiling the temple in the middle of the map here. There's a raiding cavalry. Do spot some villages over here. Going to be taking a lot of damage from the town center. It doesn't have crenellations. It does lose one as the villagers manage to pull back inside there. If you break this, and then you can put your own temple on there. I think that's like the win condition, the hidden win condition on this map. And there's the Vidar coming through. As the Mr. is in complete control here. He's got himself a decent amount of buildings for the time being. And at this point for the Mr., it's all just about control. There's the Tempest getting dropped down. We see a shifting sands. Yes, we will. And the army is gone. But he also, while doing that, he's also, I'm just going to grab a town center while doing that. There's the army over here pulling back. But the Well, a little bit of a pause here. Freeze, I don't think we can get through this. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it goes. We were going to see a big boom, and we were going to see this army get absolutely dominated. And it was going to be amazing, but we didn't get to see it. So, unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. We'll be moving on to the next game very, very shortly. Hope you guys are having a fantastic time hanging out with me. Congratulations to the Mr. for a quick, swift 3-0 victory. And we'll be jumping into the Shelty Garneth series right now. Game number 1. The Mr. in the left side of the map, playing as Isis. He's in the blue color. In the right-hand side of the map, in the red color, his opponent today currently playing off the back of a reverse sweep against the veteran Shelty. His name is Garneth. The map is Blue Lagoon. As the Berserk is already out here causing havoc for the Mr. He says, get back home. I've had enough of your shenanigans. And the Mr., like the farmer he is, shepherds his goats back home and says, no worries, it's all good. Yes, both of these players are on a 3-game win streak. So far in this tournament, the Mr. is actually undefeated. He's only played one series, but he's undefeated in classic the Mr. fashion. Pickaxe going to be coming through. As the priest moving over onto this left-hand side. Going to be getting himself that Flood of the Nile through very, very quick. As this is absolutely stock standard for the Mr. It's very similar to the flood of the not the flood of the Nile, the Vaults of Erebus build, in that if you get this technology as soon as possible, you start getting that extra 1 villager out, and that is better than getting it a little bit later, as the idea is. You can see it only leaves 5 villagers on food to make this happen, but it will be meaning it's going to be taking a little bit of a later route towards the classical age, which will give a little bit of early game advantage to Garneth to get something done. Relics on the map. We've got ourselves Bridle of Pegasus here. Up onto this spot, Scales of Catoplopas. A little bit of that bonus resistance for the myth units. Adamantine Shingles here with the bonus onto the houses. Down to the bottom of the map, I have Ornu boosting those Axemen. It's going to be something that Mr. is really going to be wanting. Did he spot it? He hasn't spotted it just yet. Garneth, on the other hand, has. I wouldn't be surprised to see him prioritize that relic so he can get those axemen, those throwing axemen a little bit stronger, and also keep it away from the Mr. Temple coming up now as well. As Themis has already got himself that Flood of the Nile tech, and he's going to be going next stage. It looks like it might be a 3:15 advance time after all is said and done. Coming onto that lumber camp on the back. And Garneth is already advancing. He's going through Freya, so no surprises there. Bast is the god of choice. We're not going to see any spicy Anubis action. And the real question is, what sort of a classical age are we going to see from the Mr.? Because we already kind of know Garneth is probably going to go for some early Great Halls. He's going to get himself his relic down here. Early Great Halls, and just try and play for the raiding game at this point. That's the thing that makes the most sense. But the Mr., you can throw anything here. You can go fast heroic. You can go for a classical fight. He's only got 5 villagers on gold. The 2 villagers on the wood kind of gives away that he wants to stay in the classical age. He wants to stay in the classical age. He wants to get himself out those Sphinx upgrades. He wants to put the pressure on. And there is the Sphinx. So barracks is now going to be coming through for the Mr., and it is going to be a classical fight. Great Hall, Longhouse now on the way as well. Immediately grabbing that. Wait, what? Oh, Priest getting taken down there. Not going to be able to heal it up. Too slow on that one, as the Valkyrie, however, is taking a serious amount of damage there. As the Sphinx gets a little bit singed. Look at this bad boy. So the barracks is now up. I imagine Axeman is going to be the unit of choice here. Could be a fake and just going for the fast heroic behind it. But the Axemen are now queued up. Now the barracks is going to be coming through. As onto this position, Obelisk will get taken out. As Garneth still going to be looking for some villager kills, but the entirety of the Mista's base is very, very defensive here. Walls already coming up on this side of the map for Garneth in the main base. It's Great Hall, it's Longhouse, it's throwing Axeman. He's got that Eye of Ornu relic in there, so the Axeman will be a little bit stronger. As the Mr. going to be searching around onto the right side of the map, looking for something to kill here. There's no villagers out just yet. Sesrumnir is queued up. Such a big technology for those Hursa. We've already got that Hierarcho Sphinx coming in to make those Sphinx into Hierarcho Sphinx, which just makes them so insanely quick. But Mr. does have to wait on that, as it looks like he doesn't get any Sphinx out first. Third monument is up already. As the armory going to come through. Raiding cavalry are on the warpath. The spearmen will be noticing that. Get a couple of jabs off. Axeman coming through to assist. On the retreat path there, the Sphinx is in, so it can get a little bit more damage done onto this. Will we be able to get a kill here or not is the big question. As the Sphinx does get just a little bit of path blockage action onto that one there. There's a raiding cavalry all going to pull back into the main base. And up over onto this position, the army goes. More walls coming up in the center of the base there, on the center of the map. As the Mister is just going to be moving around. He's going to see that arm and he's going to go, all right, let's pull back. I know what I'm facing. And in a way right now, the Mister, all he's got to really do is just mass up army. Because Garnet is kind of committed to the classical fight. But at the moment, he doesn't really have the units out. Look at the differential in population. Garnet is close. He is very, very close in this position here. As the Sphinx is going to be pushing them back. He doesn't want to overcommit all too much just yet. The Raven did spot these villagers on this food situation here. His Mister is going to be positioning his units in a way that he's going to see everything coming. As if you take a look at the minimap, the only real weakness is, I guess, the units popping in from over here in terms of that line of sight. But even then, that's not that big of a deal. As a raiding cavalry charging through, and the Mister positions to defend, and the raiding cavalry retreat back. Oh, Spearman on the other side. Can he get a jab? Yes, he can. Poke! Get out of here. The wall's almost all up, however, for Garnet on this top side of the map. He's able to get over onto this food. Technically speaking, he's getting everything that he wants to at the moment. The Mister is kind of missing this gold mine over here. This obelisk might make it seem like he's going to notice this, but he may have noticed it anyways. The Sphinx starting to move out onto this map. They will be greeted with a whole bunch of walls. And then the Mister has to figure out the next portion of this game to go. Whole bunch of Hursa over here to help defend. As the walls, they go down quickly. With the Hursa there, too scary. And Garnet is playing this early game really, really nicely at the moment. But the Mister, he's kind of recognizing what's happening. And he's making a really, really big read at the moment, going heroic age. A lot of the times we see Egyptian players staying classical age in this moment, just slamming out as many units as they can to try and get a full population eclipse off. But the Mister, he just says, all right, nope, off to the heroic age we go. No problems. Up onto this position, there's still a whole bunch of thrown axemen. Hursa here. Mister not going to be able to make it through onto this position just yet. We'll have to retreat away. Raiding cavalry over here getting pushed back. So will he lose a spearman? Looks like the answer is not just yet. All the berserks for Garnet is going to be pulling away ever so slightly. Spearman Axeman up onto this top position to take out the berserks and everything else over there. As the Mister searching for something to kill. Now he's got the Ancestors Eclipse, but he still has to worry about these walls from being up. Let's find a whole bunch of human units here to just get that whirlwind in. They're doing so much damage here. The other thing is that now Mister can actually make Scorpion Men, which are kind of just as strong. Taking a whole bunch of units over onto this side. It might need to be an Ancestors Eclipse angle here for the Mister as his army retreating back away from this side. He's kind of caught out in a way as the Thrown Axe going to be charging after that one. The Sphinx pulling back these units over here is still kind of safe, but they're still getting chased down in a big way as Mister's got no units on this side. Now he's going to be getting out some camel riders as the Sphinx making their way up onto this top position, going to look for that gold mine over there. There is one Hursa on that spot, but the Mister is all over the economy looking for as many different attacks as he possibly can. Ancestors Eclipse now getting dropped down. There's a couple of axemen over onto this spot as the Hersa on this location going to take down a couple of those myth units on that other spot. Is in the main base. The Sphinx are just kind of trying to find damage to do over there. Can Garneth hold this or not is the big question. The Scorpion Man in gets a huge poison onto this fight. As Mr. is now down in this first game in population, it looks like, but the minions, they are going to be cleaning up these units. The Sphinx, they're going to be cleaning up those throwing axemen as the Scorpion Men here pulling away. Great control from the Mr. as he manages to break through that army and somewhat equalize. Prosperity going to get dropped down over here as the gold income is going to start skyrocketing through, as now we can start seeing the Camel Rider, Axeman, Chariot Archer composition starting to make shape here. As the Camel Rider's coming up onto this position, the villagers are going to be pulling away. He's looking yet again to get up to this left side of the map. He's got the speed on these Camel Riders. Yes, the Medium Raiders, they're the same speed, but Mr. is going to be able to stay somewhat away from them. He's just scouting around at this moment as the army can come through and break down the wall. Forward Migdol Stronghold going to be coming up on this position here, as the Camel Rider's just distracting, and this is just a classic Mr. move. I said it once, we'll say it a million times. He's distracting and then doing something a little bit risky. And he gets that Migdol Stronghold up, no problems, as the Camel Riders are simply just sent packing on the front, but he's already got this position now under lock. As all of the Camel Rider, Chariot Archers are going to be coming through. He's still managing to snipe some units at this top position of the map. But the thing is, Garneth has still got a Heroic Age power spike left in him. I guess the problem is he's going to run out of this gold mine at some point. He's got gold down the bottom. He could go for a town center as well as an idea. But now Mystic, and he's going to get these premium units out. He's got all those Chariot Archers. He doesn't pay attention on this fight here. Chariot Archers a little bit too far forward. Going to be sniping down the Hersa. Will allow the myth units to completely dominate in here. As Garneth just does not have the myth units out himself. He doesn't have the food income for them. He needs that food income for those Valkyries. He's got 134 favor in the bank as Garneth's army gets absolutely obliterated on the second fight here. And now the Camel Riders can yet again move up to the top side of the map, snipe down some dwarves. The dwarves going to try and sneak around here. He can try and sneak to this one. As Mister's going to get himself another monument, up to 4 monuments here, because why not? The more myth units, the better. That's all the dwarves onto this gold mine. That's going to be sneaky. Mister might not. He's not going to notice this. He's going to have a feeling that he's spotting all of this position, but in reality, he's missing a big little moment over there. But he's going to get the town center up anyways. He's still got such a huge advantage. He can go Mythic Age. He can get 3 town center. He can get 4 town center. He can do whatever he wants as the Camel Rider is still searching around for gold here. And the question is, where are all the villagers? There's still gold in the main base. That gets mined out. Camel Rider's going to come over here and clean up this wooden wall situation here. As he's pushing into the main base, going to look to pick off some villagers. Also grabbing himself all of those upgrades. Boiling oil, crenellation, shaft mine. You have to remember that ISIS does get that all on the cheap. As Mr. has to be thinking, well, there's got to be something going on over here. Villagers coming up to the top side to grab those hyenas as well. He could throw up a quick wall here and block those dwarves from retreating. As Garneth pulls back, but he's going to be running into a town center over here. He's completely caught out of position. The Berserk gets converted as the villagers are all going to be retreating away. No attempt at a quick wall from the Mister as the units will be able to pull back, but there's going to be a Skadi coming through. And there's going to be Osiris as the option here for the Mista. He loves those mummies. We've seen him use them before. This is his favorite way to play. Berserk on this position going to be getting taken out. Chariot archers circling down to the bottom position here. Try and take out some of those throwing axemen and all the other good stuff down here. Snipes from these chariot archers. There's all of those throwing axemen, berserks. They can't do anything against this, as Garneth, he's only got one great haul. In order to counter this, you kind of need either like mass Huskarl, which is impossible because he's not in the heroic age, or like mass raiding cavalry, which is impossible because he's only got one great haul. So he's so far away from being able to deal with this army, though now he's in the heroic age. He can get a hill fort up potentially and try and grab himself a gold mine, but the chariot archers here too strong, as he's going to be microing these ones back beautifully. Great micro on that side as well. There's all those throwing axemen ending up getting sniped down, and there's that frost coming through, but there's still a whole bunch of other units just waiting, as the Mystery's like, I don't need to use these bad boys. They can just stay in the back just waiting, watching, dreaming. Hill fort slowly going to be coming up here. We've got that winter harvest on the way as well. That Son of Osiris is in. Another town center coming through for the Mista. He doesn't have that forward position just yet, but he's so far in front at this point. Champion Archers is in, taking the villagers down on the back. And Garneth, he doesn't want to see it anymore. He taps out. GG! First game to Mista in commanding fashion. As you can just see, this all resource total, it's kind of equal until Garneth gets on the back foot. He pushes out, and he was actually winning that fight for a little bit. You see he was winning this fight, and then he just drops down and drops down in a big, big way. Like the army of the Mista actually drops down as well. Like both of these players fell on that, but that Ancestors Eclipse, the micro from the Mista, just too good. Managed to keep himself ahead. And then he could just power into those premium units where Garneth is just stuck. He had all of this favor in the bank that he just could not spend. Look at it all. Look at all of that favor for Garneth. If he spent this... Wait, what's the favor total here? It's just so much favor for this. He gets so much of it. All right, we'll get into game number 2. Hope you guys are having a fun time. And we'll see you in the next one. I really hope you heard that gong. That was my keyboard bashing into my water cup. Spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is TheMista's. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Garneth. The map is Ghost Lake, or also known as Goats Lake. As the Skopos, Katoskopos, searching for goats. Oh! He does see 2, and he's going to clean them up for himself there. As the Skopos going to come back, searching for... he's just... he's barely missed it. And Garneth, they both missed it. Okay, more goats over here. I don't know if he's going to bolt this or not. I would normally bolt the priest. Oh my god, they're so close to each other. I'd normally bolt the priest of Set if I'm playing as Zeus, just because you want to stop the conversions from happening. As the priest is going to be moving down to the bottom of the map and is able to be safe here. We'll find a couple more goats over here. Finding these goats in front of the base of Garneth is going to be really, really nice. As this priest is still searching. Oh, he does find some more goats. Oh, over here he's found some as well, so it's all good. These goats are going to be coming back, and we do have a cheeky little obelisk here as Garnet is sending those goats on a journey as the Mista spots them. He spots them. And there's a priest. Did you bolt it? Or just attack it? No, it's gone. It's gone. Bye-bye, priest. It was nice knowing you. That was so funny. It was so close. He was so close to spotting him the entirety of that moment there. As the baboon of Set also going to get spotted here in the Mista. He can go and clean that up if he wants. The Scopus does beat the baboon as with 1 damage a second versus 0.3, 20 HP. You're going to kill that in about, I don't know, 25 seconds. But it does reduce your scouting time, which can be very, very vital. As Mista's now going to be checking out the main base and seeing what he's going to be finding here. In the main base for Garneth, still not advancing. We see Hermes already on the way, as is stock standard the Mista tech. He loves to get these fast advances in and put the pressure onto his opponent, as we see Anubis yet again from Garneth. He just loves Anubis. Like, why not? One of the big weaknesses of Greek is their difficulty in dealing with mass myth units, so spamming out Anubites can work. As relics getting picked up. Which relic got picked up? Am I blind? I swear I heard one. Heracles is going to be coming out. Oh, there it is. We found it. Ulla's bow +1 ranged attack onto your archers is so good. Now you're playing as Hades here. And now those chariot archers feel even like a little bit less difficult to kill. Ship of Fingernails also here to boost that food production. As the Mista is just going to grab all of that and then retreat back home. Cheeky little monuments of the soldiers coming up onto this position here. As the Jason looks like might want to come up and grab that Pelt of Argus. An extra 6 unit line of sight. Might not be the most important of relics, but it's still pretty useful. The Skulls of Serapis here. Cercipes. Cercipes. I know someone told me how to pronounce that once upon a time, but this relic is so obscenely good. You get so many monkeys. Does he know it's there? Of course he knows it's there. But picking up the relic nonetheless. We've got the Heracles in position. We've got the Centaur in position as well. As Garneth looking to push forward. He might drop the Plague of Serpents here. But it doesn't really do all that much. You can kind of just ignore it. As the Anubite does manage to pull away. And the game is on the way here. Fastic and Townsend, Garneth on the other side. It is still 1 gold mine Ghost Lake, but there are a lot of gold mines scattered around the map. He's getting up that 3rd monument here. I believe this is mass Anubites. He's getting himself the Feet of the Jackal technology, so those Anubites are going to be even stronger. I'll spot a Toskopos over here as those Jackals can pretty easily chase that down. Going to be jumping forward there to pick that one off. And that's a dead Skopos. And then Spearman going to be coming through. The simple move here, I would say, for this, I'm gonna just, I don't really understand. I think he's getting line of sight over here and maybe trying to get some damage done onto the Jason, but I think the simple move here for the Mista is just to go heroic gauge here. Go through what's it called? Apollo, get a whole bunch of villagers on the temple, and you can just get yourself out a whole bunch of Manticore to deal with those Anubites. With the help of obviously Odysseus and the 3 heroes, you're gonna be able to take out those spearmen as well. Does the Mista know what's happening? It looks like he doesn't see the actual barracks coming up or anything, so he doesn't know spearmen are in until now he does. He's got the Pegasus there to spot that. As Heracles just going to be waiting here, ready to start bashing these guys down. The monkeys are in though! Who needs spearmen when you've got monkeys? Villagers on this position here going to be retreating back ever so slightly. Centaurs now coming through. Another really, really nice option as well for the Mista. Doesn't have to risk going to the heroic age. I guess what this does here, it also secures the gold mine. Well, vision-wise. So there's not any way to sneak down on that side. So Mista has to come up onto this top side. And all the pressure can just go there. As Garneth, he's got a lot of favor in the bank. 40 favor. He's not really buying those Anubites just yet. He does have himself that Serpent Spear tech, though. That's so strong. Makes those Spearmen pack a punch. As the Anubites charging for a good micro there from Mista to pull back. Not taking any damage on that one. As the villagers need to pull off of the Caribou over here. Garneth's got to be a little bit wary of this second town center for the time being. Spearman taking out those monkeys. Military Academy coming down as he's ready to start making some hoplites to deal with all of this shenanigans. The 3 priests are in. They're going to heal everything back up. Love that play there. And now we see the Apollo. So no surprises here. This makes so much sense. An underworld over onto this gold mine to secure it or something. Or as a pressure play over here. And then you can grab that gold mine as well. That can be a great way to play. But still more Centaur coming in. Is the Mista going to be just... He might not even need to make Mantic. Or he could just keep going Centaur and just take that stat boost that comes from hitting the heroic age. As the unit's massing out onto this position, the villagers here, they've got all of those goats still remaining here. They're nearly 200 food. He does have to be careful. He does, great reaction there from the Mista. He's literally probably just sitting there staring at that mini-map in the mind of the Mista right now. As the villagers on this wood line are very much out in the open. As a Centaur jumps to his death. Is the army here going to attempt to take out this military academy? Second or third age is now in that unlocks of Haspis for the time being. As the Mista does lose himself that Heracles, the pressure is starting to mount at the moment. Manticore in onto this side does get one special attack off, but has to retreat away there. As the villagers on this wood line will need to retreat back. The villagers on this top side might fall as well. Mista does have some wood lines down the bottom here that could be good, and he is going in to these Manticore here. It's kind of like Mista is trolling a little bit. I know he's not, but he's basically doing a no human unit challenge at the moment. As the monkeys are going to come over here and be a little bit of a meat shield for these units. And he just stays there. And he's just like, I'm going to use these monkeys to the best of his ability. As the priest will get some good damage done. But the army does absolutely melt to that arrow fire. Do we see any barracks up at this point? I don't see a single military. Yes, I have a single military building here. What is this game? I feel like Mista's just having fun at this point. I could be wrong. I know he's sort of injured, but maybe he doesn't have to use his left hand so much. Going for a third town center over here as well behind all of this, because why not? As the Anubite on this side getting sent packing. Rest of these units still coming forward as priests need to come in to deal with all of these myth units. And the priests, they just are not that good in the classical age. They're actually god awful in the classical age. But heroic age will be coming through now for Garneth. There's still a ceasefire remaining. All of these myth units here for the Mista will be able to deal with these serpents. As a temple going to come up on this spot. He can get himself that temple of healing. Is that what he's going for? He's already got it. Temple of Healing coming in, and Sylvan Law. This is going to be able to heal up all of these Mythians. Does he still want to have a military building down? Oh my god. Yes, he lost those military academies, but... You don't need gold. You just make myth units. You just make Centaur and Manticore. Just getting caught out a little bit on this spot. Might have to... Oh, the Temple of Healing is in though. As he turns around. He's just got such a defensive position here. Some farms coming down over here. Turning onto this spot. The Centaur still... Oh, look at how little damage those priests do at this stage of the game. New Boit getting taken down on this spot. Villagers going down as well. All the priests falling. As he just can't get damage done underneath this temple here. The temple is doing like 7.5 HP a second of healing on... Wait, that sounds wrong. It heals 15 per second. So it's doing 7.5 while idle to 3 units. As the Ancestors gets dropped down, the Manticore, myth unit only challenge by the Mista. Oh my god. More monkeys coming over onto this side. He can drop ceasefire if he needs to, but I don't think he needs to. As Garneth is just sending everything. He loses a Manticore! Tango down! Alright, another temple to come up on this spot for the Mista to heal even more. This is something I've been talking about. Why don't I see people doing that and then Mista does it? See, so much healing. It's so much. 15 hit points per second to your allied units. 3 targets at once. Targets that are not idled are healed at 50% speed. And it stacks. So 2 temples means if you got 3 injured units, you can heal them. That's insane. Now Hera clicked up for the Mista. Villagers coming up here. Garneth not giving up. Let's just don't look at the score right now because it's not telling the whole story. The whole story is much, much worse than what the score is saying. Oh dear. Town center up the top coming through for Garneth. We see villagers scattered all across the map. Good micro there from the Mista to dodge those Anubites. Is he still just building myth units? I think he is. He's just building Manticore. He doesn't have a barracks. He doesn't have an archery range. He doesn't have a stable. He's going to be able to lightning storm the next army. Fortress coming down onto this position here. Another villager getting sniped down. Alright, the Mista now charging forward here. He's going to get spotted by the guard of Townsend. Not going to be able to deny that one. He will have enough favor to bolt the Pharaoh if he wants to run onto this gold mine here and take that out. As the Manticore spots and villagers. Oh, that damage is insane. They will be running away. Not going to be able to chase this one, I don't think. But he will get a huge amount of kills nonetheless. Spearman chasing in onto this spot here as the Centaur can turn around and just take all of those Spearmen down. As the Mystery is just getting that shoot and scoop micro on. The Scorpion Man is in the counter. Look at that damage. Entomos indeed. But, I mean, at this point, you have to ask the question, what is Mr. going to be using that Lightning Storm on? He's killed all the units already. Totally forgot the scoreboard. Apologies. Right, there was a Lightning Storm. I don't know where he used it. Because I don't... Oh, it's in the main base. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying this too much to even care at this point. It's just only myth units. Oh no, okay. I mean, that's fair enough. We got to freeze at this point. Like, the game can't handle a player being this good at the game. The game just can't. It's all good. We'll go into the next game. We'll see if 3D Garneth can force Mister to build something not named a myth unit or a hero. Hope you guys are enjoying this one. 3K score lead or 3x score lead for the Mister is a pretty dominating performance here. And we'll move into the next game. GG. Game number 3. 2-0 for the Mister as he steps onto the land of the gods, Mount Olympus, playing as Hades. His opponent today, in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Garneth. Garneth has just had one of the most humiliating experiences, I think, in pro play that I've ever seen. Which is effectively a player making no human units in a game of Age Mythology. And you not being able to force him to. I still can't believe what I watched. The big question right now is, was Garneth sandbagging for the viewers, and now he's going to turn it up just like he turns it up versus Shelty? Or is it all downhill from here? I mean, it's not. I've been at the hands of Mister for one too many games, and I can tell you that it's a next to impossible experience. He is an insanely talented Age Mythology player, RTS gamer, and everything like that. So you have to play at the top of the upper echelon to come close to him, and even then, he's still going to be beating you up. So we'll see how he's going to approach this one. As the Mister does have his temple down. Okay, he's going for the fast Vault of Erebus build. I'm excited to see what he's going to throw at us here. Because, you know, we did see Ares from Garneth before. I know the Mister doesn't particularly like Cyclops. Not on the fact that they're weak or anything. Just on the fact that they're a little bit hard to keep alive. Hard to get value out of, so to speak. We see Oceanus here for Garneth. So no Prometheus shenanigans. I would have assumed that as Garneth is so off meta, he would have gone for Prometheus. But I guess recently, to some degree, Prometheus has become meta. So therefore, Oceanus is off meta. So we must pick Oceanus. Hero Oracle coming in. I haven't talked about the map just yet. We've got a lot of relics here to go forward. Hestia's Hearth over here. Going to be reducing those villages. On this position here, we've got that Eye of Ornlu, going to be increasing that damage for the counter infantry. Over here, we've got Adamantine Shingles, boosting your house hit points. On this position, we've got Ankh of Ra, going to be boosting that food gather rate. Over on favor gather rate. Text of Imhotep, boosting that build time, or reducing that build time. As Vault of Erebus coming through, Athena on the way, lots of villagers on the gold, lots of villagers on the wood. As this to me is looking like some sort of a fast second town center. But look at this for Garneth. That's a forward sky passage. This is as cheesy as it gets. And behind this, Garneth is making more oracles. As the Mister, he doesn't know this. He's moving up to this town center to put it down. As the Caladria swooping over here, going to be seeing exactly what's coming through here. As the Mister is pulling up 8 villagers onto this position. Immediate Carnivora here to deny that town center for just a little bit of time here. Bit of a shockwave to keep those villagers away. As Garneth here, does he have any buildings up? No. He doesn't have anything to stop this. He's just hanging out. Town center now on the way. I'm confused. I thought this whole idea was like a massive cheese to come and target this position down, but the military buildings are so late from Garneth that he's not going to be able to push forward and deny this. So now Mr. gets himself his second town center. Garneth gets himself some forward food. Mr. has not spotted this. He might even send his villagers that way in an attempt to grab that, though the safer option is on the back here. I think this is going to be the first time I've ever seen the Mister go for a fast second town center. He is so good at the early pressure into whatever else is next that you rarely see him do the kind of like, I don't know, economically optimal play. So this could be scary to witness for Garneth again. Because now it's all on Garneth to get something done. Frontline heroics coming through. More oracles coming in. As those oracles here just grabbing relics all over the place. Inside of the temple, he's already got that Hestia's Hearth. Mister, on the other hand, does not have any relics just yet. And where to next? Does he go to the heroic age after this? He hasn't mined a single bit of gold past that 2,580. He's just letting the gold trickle pull him up. This looks like a fast heroic to me. And now the villagers are gone. They've taken his hunt and they're away. Over onto this spot. Let me eat all of the food on the map. A question from chat. If your opponent goes fast second town center, why not go second town center yourself? Well, the reason would be because you see a weakness in your opponent's position that can be exploited by not going fast second town center. As the forward sky passage here will get torn down. Over on this position here, Miller are going to be taking this out. So for example, if, say, this gold mine wasn't here, then you could see this gold mine, and this gold mine are open. Therefore, putting some heavy pressure onto your opponent could be a way to go. As a villager looks like it will go down and gods do bleed. As the Mister here, he is overstayed his welcome on that wood line. He pulls back into his town center. He's back over onto the gold. He's now going Aphrodite. And he's got that military academy up. Going to be ready to build some Apaspests moving forward here. That's the Mamilla hero. Going to be pulling back. Villagers finishing up with the chickens here as well. And where to next for Garneth, though? He's got that Hyperion queued up as well. And, I mean, the Mister is covering the Contarius angle and the Murmillo angle at the moment. But he needs to scout this out to make the correct decision here. At the moment, I don't see the Pegasus. Lots and lots of villagers on the favor here as well. Will he get an immediate golden apples? Just to get more favor? He does make a handful of a pass best. But a very easy tech switch here for Garneth would be to go into Contarius here. Nice Anemian Lion going to be moving up onto this spot. Achilles is charging through, to try and take this one out. As the Nemean lion gets pacified. No! The poor lion. But some Hypaspis are in to keep that one alive. They will get some good damage done over here as the Caladria does end up falling. Achilles can come through and at least try and snipe down this back Myrmillo. The Myrmillo, look at them. How is he moving that fast? That's wild. Nonetheless, Hyperion is now in. Chaos gets dropped down. Is that not the wildest Chaos you've ever seen? He lost 2 units. Right, they're still idle. They're still attacking each other. Okay, he's lost 3 units. Chaos on 4 units is the most OP usage you can have. Right, more Myrmillo coming in, and the heroic renewal is in. We are seeing the classic 3D team strategy coming in, which is mass heroes, mass upgrades. Heroic renewal allows those heroes to regenerate at 1.5 HP per second, and it boosts that HP up to 150. So even more HP onto those bad boys. With that HP just regenerating up a storm here. As the villagers finishing up with that fortress, moving up onto the top gold mine over here. The population for Garneth is slowly growing, but he's only making Myrmillo. And the Mister sitting back here. What next is the big question. Myrmillo swinging around the bottom side of the map. Myrmillo coming over to this left side looking for raids. There is still a Zom to be used here, as the villagers do end up going down very, very quickly. 5.3 speed on those bad boys. They are very, very quick. Still no Zom to help out on this side here, as Ajax and the Minotaur are going to get taken down. We do see a cheeky little Carnivora getting dropped onto this position, as the Peltast getting cleaned up very quickly here. You see the Zom coming through as the villagers are getting dove onto. You have to remember that Mystery's still on 2 town centers, so in a way, he's still very much in the driver's seat. He just has to not lose too many villagers. As Garneth, he knows he has to get that damage done. He's still going for this mass frontline heroics Myrmillo tactic. And the Mister, he is already ready. He's got those Hypaspis in the main base, defending this one beautifully. Town Center going to be getting some good damage done onto these bad boys. He's also got that free crenellations as Hades. As the hero Myrmillo will clean up a couple of villages here, but the Hypaspis are already through. And in a way, picking off 1 villager for a Myrmillo hero, I don't know if that's going to be the right amount of efficiency for you, but he's going to keep on trying. He's got to get something done while still on 1 town center. And I guess if this gold mine gets exhausted, that's going to be it. But another fortress coming down for the Mister. He knows the only real way he loses this position is going to be if he gets gold starved. He's got his farm set up. He's got his temple over here. Can't really spend that favor on anything other than some god powers. He hasn't had to use either of them. He can't use his curse. Still doesn't have that golden apples here, as the villagers on this temple will get spotted. Hypaspis coming through. See a little bit of a turnaround from the Mister. He does have himself that survival equipment as well to boost those villagers up. As now we've got a tech switch into Arcus getting shown to the Mister. He's going to be recognizing that one immediately. Does he have any archery ranges? Yes, he does. He's got the 1. And there's another Zom as he goes, I don't need this favor. Let me just Zom my main base and keep you out of here. So Myrmillo going to be charging through into the main base. He's got the heavy upgrades for them as well. As villagers just going to be diving in. There's that curse coming through. As restoration getting dropped down here in an effort to keep all of his units alive and push Garneth out of here. But another chaos getting dropped down as the army for Garneth is going to completely massacre yet another army of the Mister. as he dives into the town center. The town center will be doing a decent amount of damage. Those Sentinels are also going to be doing a decent amount of damage as well, as the Chiron manages to finish off that Satyr here. We've got Artemis queued up already, as the Mister is in a lot of trouble, but it seems like he doesn't even care. He'd rather spend 2,000 resources and have these units in his main base than otherwise. As the flood from Garneth will begin, another fortress coming up onto this position to try and defend his wood here. As the Murmillo getting sniped down, Peltas are going to be moving forward ever so slightly here to take out those Arcus. You even see guard towers in from the Mista in an effort to just defend himself. There's the earthquake into the center of the map, as Garneth's entire base is going to get erased. A couple of hoplites coming through in order to try and deal with those Kontaris. You have to remember he's also Athena, so he will have access to Sarissa, though I don't think he's researched it just yet. No, never mind, he has. As the army coming into the main base, still trying to get damage done, but the towers are up. The town center is here. The Sentinels are through. So even if he picks off the army, the villagers will just dive into the town center. They're going to be completely fine here with all of these defenses. More units coming up onto this spot, but there's just nowhere to attack. The gold mine over here is almost expired, though, for the Mista, as he's still holding. He's barely got any military population here. All of the technologies here. He's got himself architects. He's got himself towers. He's got himself everything he needs to just hold the pain that this Oranos is showing here. And Garneth says, I just can't do anything. I can't kill him. I can't. There's no units here, and I can't push in. As the Mister, this is just absolutely insane, the way that the Mister wins this game. Look at this. Wait, he doesn't have masons and architects. I misread that. Okay, but he's still got guard towers, fortress, sentinels, and all the other good stuff. And that's the bulk of his defense. He did lose an entire army there to chaos, but it just didn't matter in the end of the day. Insane game here, insane series from the Mister, showing us all how it's done, as Garneth has to look back at this and go, I lost to the best. What more can be said? As Mister makes his way into day number 2 of the Qualifiers 3. Last chance. Congratulations to the Mister. I mean, check out this post game, and just the story tells a million tales. This line, this graph, look at this. There's no units here, and look at Garneth's army just sinking. That's the crazy part. Look at the military killed versus lost. Absolutely insane. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the follow. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. Don't forget to check out Nakamura RTS, AOL Iron Maiden, and Yo Desla tomorrow for more action.